Hey friends. It's been quite a day. We had someone test positive for COVID today in the cast. They seem perfectly healthy, no symptoms, incredibly healthy young person, but it triggers a whole number of protocols and means that we've all been exposed. And the thing that stood out to me and that really feels significant and that I'm actually recognizing as even as I speak about it now is sort of I think by far my most significant takeaway and my most significant intention is the way that the group just stayed positive was remarkable. It was totally remarkable. And I'm noticing something in myself where I think when I'm diagnosing and what I'm developing an awareness of, thank God, is what types of interactions, what type of conversations, events basically make me go negative, send me into a negative place. And I think what I have discovered through this, it's like I have to remind myself that this is all about healing on the highest level, and that's the service that I'm both bringing and receiving, and that is why I'm engaging with the process, and that everything else is subsidiary to that. And so then what I'm really diagnosing when I say, what sends me into a negative space or a negative, how do I tilt into what I'm calling a negative vibe, is really a question of what am I still addicted to that can convince me to take my eye off that ball. And it's a variety of things. And there's no one. I can't diagnose that down to a single thing. I mean, I'm trying, and I think it would be really useful for me to be able to distill at least some principles or some general tenets. I know one of them, one thing I noticed today is that the fear of exposure was interesting to feel. And because I've been very sanguine about this whole pandemic, not in the way of being non-compliant, but just in the sense of never really feeling like it was a threat. I haven't experienced a lot of fear around it, and I realize that's a product of privilege and a bunch of other factors. It's not simply that I think I'm so courageous that I don't feel any fear of the pandemic, but I think the way that I and this is interesting to unpack, actually, there's still something about it getting so close, that to hitting so close to home, so to speak, that sort of, I noticed myself in the space today, like I felt my body feeling fear, and then I would think, wait, what happens when I feel fear? Well, I close down. And then immediately when I realized what was happening, I was like, but wait, breathe, feel your body, as Chogyam Trungpa would say, maintain head and shoulders, which is it's unbelievable, simple, instruction that basically just elevates the body, and it's like there's energy flowing. I feel it like from my pelvis to my spine, all the way through my spine. It's like my system just goes, hi, here I am, I'm online. And so the kind of, it was just really interesting to feel that tension. And so as I look at that, and as I also then just like consider where I am, consider where we are as a company, consider how beautiful it's been so far, and how beautiful it feels like it has where we're going, how beautiful that feels. There's just a sense of, it's kind of like a sense of responsibility, but also a sense of privilege and just joy and gratitude for receiving this experience, and for building this collective, building this group of people. It's remarkable. And we're all at this point obviously sending healing vibes and keeping this person in our thoughts. Hopefully it'll be a very mild case. We had another cast member on day one tested positive, never felt a single symptom, couldn't come to rehearsal for a week, but felt great the whole time, never even noticed, totally asymptomatic. So we're all wishing that for this instance as well, obviously, but it brought me back to, it was a combination, I think, of that, of the day starting that way, and then getting just witnessing myself, witnessing where I am in the process, and where my focus goes, and there are temptations to put my focus on other things. And I'm identifying that they don't serve me. And I'm identifying that I can fall into the trap of kind of I think it's interesting to identify that, not because I want to put my energy there, but because I need to know. I need to know if I can go unconsciously like that, then I want to be honest about that too. I want to be willing to see that and witness it and just be transparent to myself. If self-awareness and if spiritual practice is about anything, it's about our ego becoming transparent to our higher self. Our higher self always knows the truth. Our ego is always transparent to our higher self. But the question is, where do we locate our identity? If we locate our identity in our ego, then our ego will be impenetrable. It'll be too complicated to figure out. It'll be too, there'll always be some reason why we can't see through it, or why, we can see through it, but right now we're not doing the thing that, there's always some reason. But if our identity is located in that higher dimension, then it's very, very simple. It's very, very simple, and it's very matter of fact, and it's transparent and honest without being judgmental. That there's a sense of like that. This is, I think, where the healing principle comes full circle, because it's not, it's like by witnessing. Back up a step. The intention to heal, the intention to enter any process with the kind of fundamental goal to be one of spiritual evolution, healing on a deep level, and that might mean just physical or psychological or emotional, but it might, it could mean anything. It could mean any level of healing on which we require it. That intention inherently means that we're in a place, or it just spins the ball in a certain way, so that our approach to the circumstances we have a transparency to ourselves. It makes possible transparency to ourselves, because why? Because that's all we're there to do. But if we're there to defend a perspective, if we're there to assert our value, if we're there to prove something, then we simply can't be as transparent to ourselves, because that agenda has taken us. And that's the thing that I think I'm witnessing, and I'm allowing myself to feel. I'm allowing myself to be moved to a new level of what this is all about. A new level. It's only when I forget that I go off course. It's only when I forget that. And there's courage involved, and there's deep sensitivity involved. There's listening involved. There's patience involved. There's a willingness to feel like we're not making progress. We have to let what is be okay. And I'm having the same experience I have had a couple times now, which is I've declared an intention previously, and I am only now coming. I'm coming to a new layer of understanding of that intention. The intent, and thank God for the intention, because it's like the thing that I've been. It's the thing it's been the lifeline. It's been the thing to hold on to. It's been the orienting factor. And without that, I'd be distracted. I'd be not here. Saw a beautiful quote by Eckhart Tolle a couple weeks ago. Maybe I even mentioned this on my post, but he said, "Stress is wanting to be stress is being here and wanting to be there." That's the thing that will lead us astray. And so finding what that is, finding the real why we're here, is everything. It's everything. We own the world when we know that. And you can make incremental progress. It doesn't have to all come at once. You can move towards it, feel it informing and expanding. Whew. Thanks for watching. So much love. Sending good vibes to everyone. Healing, warm, healthy, loving vibes. Thanks for being in my life. I'll see you tomorrow.